All right, guys, so now that we've got it installed, this is what it looks like. As you know, the feature here of this unit that makes it so unique is that it does have an air conditioning pass-through vent. And I gotta tell you, it works pretty well. Obviously, listen, full disclosure, guys, it is going to block your airflow somewhat. If anybody tells you that it's perfect and that you get tons of airflow, they're lying to you. It does work well. Comparable to other screens that block the airflow, this at least does give you a pass through, so you do get airflow coming through there. I feel it right now. And of course, as we increase the airflow, then I feel it even more. So it does work, but I do want to put that out there because, I have seen some other videos where they talk about, how it doesn't obstruct and they're lying to you. So I just want to be honest in my reviews. But I do want to kind of show you guys some of the features of this unit. As you can see, if you've seen other videos that I've done, the UI here is totally different. They've updated and enhanced the UI. Once we go here, you do see that you have several different screens that you can choose from your PSI levels to, of course, your distance, your post startup. It shows you how much distance you've driven, how much time, mileage, of course, which is nice because, as you know, finding the odometer sometimes is a little bit difficult going into our onboard screen. So having it there is really nice as well. You also have, of course, your consumption. And of course, here we have our settings, CarPlay, and Android Auto. So we'll go into the settings right away here, guys. And once you go into settings, you have a couple different things to choose from. First thing you see here is, of course, your Bluetooth connection and your Wi-Fi. You want to make sure you connect to Wi-Fi because that's how you'll be able to update the device over the air. Once you go into your general settings here, guys, you have your temperature. You can select between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Your speed limit, whether it's general, I have it set to American because clearly here we're in the States. Then you have your language preference. You have a variety of languages to choose from, which is great. Your hourly system here, whether 12 or 24 hours, I prefer 12 versus military. And then you have, of course, your audio output. It can go out of the loudspeaker. This unit does have a loudspeaker, or you can just go ahead and select Bluetooth, and then it'll play through your vehicle once you select the Bluetooth feature on the car. So this way it can go through your speakers. You can have your car play through the speakers, any type of notifications. It'll all come through your Bluetooth as long as you have this enabled and your car is set to Bluetooth. Then, of course, you have your time zone. We're in Florida, so I have it set properly to UTC -4, which is Eastern Standard Time. Our Atmos, which is our tire pressure, you have bar or PSI. And then, of course, our next option here is our model. Now, this is a cool upgrade that they've done here. You can select which vehicle you have, whether it's the Model 3 Highland, the Model 3, the OG, and the OG Model Y, or the new Model Y Juniper. You can also select your vehicle's color, which is nice here as well, and whether it's a right-hand or left-hand drive, depending on where your car, of course, was made and where you're located. Then we have our display mode here. This gives us a variety of different UIs that we can pick from. You have UI 1, UI 2, UI 3. Right now, the one you previously saw was UI number 1. You also have display modes. You can keep it on light mode, which is what we have now. You can put it on dark mode, which of course is a black, or go on to auto, and auto will allow you to just adjust as the car adjusts. So at nighttime, when everything turns on, it'll automatically go into dark mode, and during the day, it'll automatically stay into light mode, mimicking whatever's on your main infotainment screen. Rainbow Road, we're all familiar with that. When you're on autopilot, it'll show Rainbow Road just like on your main screen. And then, of course, your forward looking is to enable the camera when we go into drive. So like right now, if I were to press drive, it should turn on the camera automatically, which is awesome. And if you want to go ahead and release the camera, guys, all you got to do is just go back like that on this little screen, and it'll go back to your screen. Now, if you wanted to turn the camera back on, same thing. Just hold to the side here for a couple seconds, and the camera turns back on. Super simple to use. Now, once we go here, you also have full screen and half screen. What this means, guys, is that if you go into half screen, now when we're looking here, we're gonna have a half the screen when we go into drive. So now we're in drive, but if I go into park, you have that. And of course, when you have Apple CarPlay or anything on, and I'll show you guys that in a minute, it will be half screen. You'll have one on one side, and then you'll have the other on the other. Now, I like to keep it most of the time on full screen, but of course that becomes preference, and my buddy Tove will play with it and put it to his liking once we're done here, and I bring the car back to him. Now, here's another thing, guys. A lot of you have asked me many times, how do I update my F9, right? Well, it's the same thing for the new, if you have the newest version, which is this one, or if you have the previous version, either one, it's the same way. You go into your software tab, they both have a software tab, you click on that, and then you're gonna see where it has check update. Now, in order for this to work, guys, you need to be connected to Wi-Fi, which is why the first thing you want to do is connect to your home Wi-Fi or whatever Wi-Fi access you have, whether it's on your phone, whatever you want to do. But once you go here, then you can go ahead and click on over-the-air update, just like this. And what it'll do is it's going to check if there's any type of download or anything like that. And it's going to download it and upgrade your unit as you guys see it doing now, which is pretty cool. And that's pretty much all the features, as you can see on the back end of this unit, guys. So what we're going to do now as this updates is, once this is done, I'll go ahead and just take a quick test drive to show you guys how it operates and how it works when the car is in motion. So let's go ahead and do that. In the meantime, let's let this little upgrade here finish up and see what happens. All right. So now that it's upgraded, guys, now it's going to go ahead and reboot the system. And of course, any updates or what have you will go ahead and take effect, which is really nice. So here we have it. We're good to go there. Now what we'll go ahead and do is let's go ahead and connect our Apple CarPlay so that you guys can see the functionality with CarPlay. So just like usual, we tap on CarPlay and it's going to tell us to connect. So what we'll go ahead and do is connect it here to our phone. And then once we do that, it should enable CarPlay just like any other CarPlay module here. And we're looking for ID in the Bluetooth. And you're going to notice the ID that you see here, guys, that's what you're going to look for here on the phone, is that same ID, the Tesla TSL. Let's see here if we can find it right there at the bottom. We'll click that. Once we click that, it should give us a authorization number of sorts once it connects. There we go. And just like that, guys, now we have Apple CarPlay, which is beautiful. And the nice thing is, guys, we have, let's see, do we have it? There it is, everybody's favorite. This right here is worth its weight in gold, having Waze back in the Tesla. Awesome, guys, awesome, awesome. But as you can see here, we have access to everything. Same thing with our scroll wheel, we can back out. We can go ahead and select, as you can see, I'm moving everything just by using our right scroll wheel. So here I can select what I want if I'm trying to scroll through that. Now by going to the right, it'll go back to CarPlay. And of course, just like I said before, I can come here, select what I want. We have all our different apps, YouTube Music, Zoom. You guys know, if you're familiar with CarPlay, you already know how this works. But Apple Music could play, it'll play through the speaker. Same thing with your phone, guys. Everything will go through your speaker as long as you have your car. And what I mean by Bluetooth, guys, is you already know. If you click here, you want to make sure that you're on the Bluetooth setting right here. And if you're on this setting and you're connected to your Bluetooth, then what's going to end up happening is that any audio that you see from here will play in your car. Otherwise, if you have it set on, Apple Music or any of these other streaming platforms, then what's going to happen, guys, if you do that, like if you're listening to YouTube Music or something else, it is not going to give you the audio that you're hearing through here. You'll only hear it through the loudspeaker if that's what you're, if that's the setting you have. And then to show you guys that split screen really quick, if we come here, you have, of course, our normal Apple screen, right? But if we go back into our UI settings, well, we got to go back because we need to go into the UI settings here. But if we go into these UI settings right here, guys, and we go into that split screen mode, right here, half screen, we go back. Now, if we're in CarPlay, this is what you see. You have half CarPlay and half...
In the group with you, Lexi, Luca, and David. Turn left, Ellen.
So we see that the Bluetooth is working great. Sorry about that, guys. But as you can see, Bluetooth is working great on messages coming through. But this is what you see when you're in half screen mode. You see half of your Waze, which would be here. So if we wanted to run Waze or Maps or what have you, that would be on this side here. And then, of course, you have your speedometer and all of your other information right here on the right. So like I said before, it really is preference on what you enjoy, whether you want it to be, full screen, half screen. I've always enjoyed the full screen, so I'm going to leave it like that. But again, my buddy Tove can always change it if he'd like to. So now that we have this, guys, let's go ahead and go for a quick little ride around the block here, just so we can see how it works. And I can show you guys, how well this thing works on the road. All right, guys, so the first thing you notice, again, our camera comes on, and look at that. Now, the one cool thing about this that I want to point out with the camera, right now we're going around the block, but it's going to stay on as long as your car maintains under 20 miles per hour. But if we're able to go ahead, see, as soon as you hit a certain mileage, it will go ahead and go back to your screen once you exceed that speed. Now here we see, of course, our Apple CarPlay, which is great because we have all our information on the screen. But if I wanted to go ahead and just see the normal UI, now this is what we see. You see the car in motion, just like you normally see on other type of displays. We see our speed. You see, of course, all our other settings here on the side. And if we want to keep here any info, we see our PSI. You can keep it with your energy consumption, whatever you prefer. Now I'll go ahead and slow down here, and we will go ahead and switch our UI really quickly so that we can test other UIs. Now let me go ahead and slow down here. I'll stop real quick. And we will go to UI number 2. And this is what UI number 2 looks like. And as you can see, we have our speedometer right here. We have our energy consumption right here on the side. And then here we still have our info for whatever other graphic we'd like to have right here, which is also super nice. And what's nice is you see as the car starts picking up speed, you see that as well. Now, if you have your regenerative braking turned on, guys, you will see that graph show up here as you let go. You'll see the regenerative braking. If you don't have that on, you're not going to see that graph, but that's something to keep in mind. Now, we'll go ahead and we'll check out UI number 3. And this is what that looks like. So UI number 3, you have the moving road, all that good stuff. Speedometer is going to be now on your left-hand side. You have your speed limit here. And then, of course, you have your battery power and your miles per hour and everything else. And, of course, what range you have left on the vehicle in regards to charge. Now, what we'll go ahead and do, guys, is we'll take it out on the open road so I can show you some other features once we interact with vehicles. All right, guys, so now that we're on the open road where we can actually go a little bit faster and use our full self-driving and everything to show you all the other features, here's a couple things I do want to point out. You know, when you are in full self-driving mode, you do see the little steering wheel illuminate right there if you're in UI number 2. If you're in, as you see the little yellow bar here, that's because that's our blind spot monitoring system picking up that we have vehicles to our left or our right. So you will see that on either side as we get approached by vehicles in our blind spot, which I think is pretty darn cool. Now we'll go ahead and make a U-turn here so that we can showcase some other features, show you how that works. And so we can also see, once we have CarPlay on, this is what we're working with here if you're using Waze or if you're using Maps or whatever your preferred GPS navigational system is here. But it's also really nice. As you can see, we already have a destination preset, so it is giving us all of that. You can report from any of these blinds here. It is a full touchscreen, and if you want, you could always use your scroll wheel on the right-hand side. Down goes up and up goes down, just so you guys know. So it's a little goofy in regards to that. If you're a skateboarder, you know what that means. But same thing, if you go, and then always to select, guys, selecting is to the right and backtracking is to the left. So if I wanted to go, let's say here into, you know, Google Maps, then I would just hover over it, select to the right, and then it will then go into Google Maps, which is what we're on, duh. But if I wanted to go, let's say into maybe down here into the rest of the CarPlay, I select to the right. Here we have there. If I want to go and maybe select a different app, I can then highlight it again, and now I can find maybe Waze in this case. And again, as I said, you want to scroll down and you'll see it highlighting in our apps here. And you see it moving around from app to app. And as you keep going down, it'll go from one page to the other. We'll find our Waze, move it to the right, and now we have Waze activated, which is great. Because now we'll see police officers. And the same thing, guys, anytime a notification pops up, you can use your scroll wheel to report and everything else, which is super convenient on road trips. Or you could always just click your toggle button right here and it'll pop up with your reporting and everything right from here as well, which is super nice. So let's go ahead. Hopefully this light here will turn and then I can show you guys. All right. Now, as we're moving, you're probably going to see this light up here as well. Okay. All right. And if you have your audio on, guys, like I said, as long as you have Bluetooth, you will hear it. Now, one thing I have noticed, though, is that if you are using CarPlay, it seems to not have the blind spot monitoring activated. But if I were to be here in this UI, our normal UI, then from what I understand at that point, it should activate our blind spot monitoring, as you see there. So one thing to keep in mind, guys, is that if you're using Waze, you are going to, for whatever reason, lose that feature. But if you aren't using Waze, if you're using your regular UI, then you will have that blind spot monitoring feature, which I think is huge, especially because this car, if you own a Model Y, you already know that our blind spots on this car are pretty bad. But having that is great. Super, super nice feature. Definitely something that makes this upgrade that much more worth it. As you guys can see, really, really nice. And that's pretty much it, guys. Honestly, this is a great addition to your vehicle if you're looking to have a nice heads-up display. It'll bring CarPlay into your vehicle, Android Auto, and if you're overseas, it even has Highway Auto, which the Huawei Audio, which I believe is a very large brand in Japan and China, a phone brand there. It also has that, which you can enable it here on your screen as well, which is also pretty awesome. But as always, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments about this particular display. Do you like it? If you have one of the original ones, are you thinking about upgrading so you have the new UI? Either way, I'm always curious to hear your thoughts in the comments, so definitely sound off below and let me know what you guys think. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and don't forget to hit that little bell icon so that you're notified when I post my next video. And honestly, guys, if you want one of these, head on over to Tesstudios and get yourself one because they are really well priced. And if you use my discount code, Mr. C. Melendez, you will save on all of your Tesstudio purchases, not just on the heads-up display, but on a swivel mount or really anything you need for your Tesla. They have a wide variety of accessories for all Tesla model vehicles. So check them out. Head on over again to teststudios.com. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. But as always, guys, I truly appreciate you guys hanging out with me today here at the Front Club. Thanks for watching. See you next time.